Welcome to the School of Love, the place where miracles are normal. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, the School of Love. My name is Maria and I am helping people discover their inner potential for love towards oneself and towards the others. Today's video is a new video from the series What I Wish I Knew When I Was Younger, in which I dissect important topics on 5 levels so that we can discuss important elements within these vital topics and trace some easy to follow solutions so that we can evolve, we can move from a place of feeling stuck, feeling unfulfilled, towards a place of feeling a sense of expansion and abundance and hope and contentment. If you are new to the channel, at this moment I would like to ask you to please consider subscribing, sharing, liking, commenting. Thank you very, very much. This helps us not only with the mysterious algorithm which seems to dominate the YouTube galaxy, but also with contributing to the expansion of the community of humans doing their best to impact positively the world and those around them by discovering their authentic selves and living life wholeheartedly. Thanks again. In today's video, I'm going to talk about toxic people and how to identify them, and how to get rid of them, meaning how to learn to deal with them, which almost always means get rid of them. So let's get started. And the first step is, as always, becoming aware of toxic people in your life. And in a healing process, in order to change something, we need to become aware. We need to ask ourselves the question, what am I doing that I am bringing into my life? These kind of experiences, this kind of events, this kind of persons. I understand that the life and world can be difficult sometimes, but what is my contribution to this difficult situation, which seems to repeat itself in spite of doing my best to have a balanced, happy life. So, and in order to become aware of toxic people, one also needs a kind of definition of toxic people. What toxic people means are those persons who make us feel inadequate, makes us feel bad, make us feel depleted, unhappy, make us feel as if we don't belong, as if we're never good enough. Oh, this is a big one. We're never good enough with these people. We should be grateful that they accept us in their lives and that they accept us and allow us to put up with their own nonsense. This is a toxic person. Becoming aware of this, it means also, in a second step, identifying the trigger, identifying your role into this. So why am I glued to this person? What precisely make this person both attractive, because that's why you stick with her, and toxic, because that's why you feel so bad? And this combination of a person being both attractive and toxic leads to unhealthy attachment. That's why you cannot get away from there. So the next question is, of course, why can't you just avoid it and soothe it and then move on with it? There's always a trigger. There's always something which forces you into a position of reactionary negativity and reactionary toxicity. You can stick with that person only because there is some toxic element within yourself as well. And in a third step, it is necessary to identify the payoff. There's always a reward. What validation, confirmation emerges from the attachment to that person? Maybe you feel like there is fear. Maybe you feel like the fixer. Maybe you feel like someone who finds pleasure into giving to others, so the codependent, into the victim, being a victim, being the martyr, being someone who's always taken advantage of, but never retaliates, never leaves the situation, but finds some sort of sadistic or masochistic pleasure in being hurt. All these elements you must address within yourself, because then once you find this payoff in relationship with a trigger, you'll be forced, it's the natural way of things work, to find healthy way to deal with the triggers. Some ways it might include something like proactively looking at the memory, the place, the present, whatever the emotion, the mental state, instead of running away from it. As children, we learn to cope in very unhealthy way with impossible situations in order to stay alive. But when we grow up, these impossible situations actually become life-threatening, and they're destroying our lives. If you do enough mistakes due to unhealthy coping mechanisms, at some point you won't be able to repay your life anymore, to put your life back on track anymore. I almost talk from my own experience. So it's important to identify the trigger. Why exactly do you feel attracted? Do you feel pulled towards that person? And then what is the reward which keeps you glued to that person so that you cannot move away? In doing so, you'll feel there is a compensatory movement of the entity of this body spiritual complex, which forces you to find healthy way of coping with unhealthy things, which then actually heals the unhealthy habit, the destructive habit. But you must face those demons. And the last step is a sense of gratitude, to develop a sense of gratitude for that person, that event, that place, whatever it has taught you. This is not victim blaming. This is not saying that it has happened because you had attracted it into your life. This is rather saying that you have to find your inner strength to say, it wasn't me, but I solved it. And the feeling of accomplishment which comes with it is incredible. And so as humans, we have two drives. Depending on the person, they are stronger or weaker, but we have two basic drives. The one is to overcome adversities, and the other one to achieve new things. So difference between achieving and overcoming is overcoming means moving just beneath the adversity, the difficulty. But overcoming is bringing something new into your life. And so while we learn a lot from overcoming adversities, achieving things is what gives us the high of fulfillment. When we overcome things, we are content with staying afloat. But when we achieve things, we feel this burst of self-confidence that I can do it and I am worthy due to my own effort and my own commitment and my own engagement. So to sum up, there's 5 steps in the process of dealing with toxic people, which almost always leads to getting rid of them, taking your distance from them. The first one is awareness that you have toxic people in your life who do not allow you to have a good, fulfilled life. The second one which is connected with the third one is identify the trigger, and then at the same time identify the reward which is stuck to that trigger, so that not only you are pulled towards a person, but you are also stuck to it. Then automatically there will be this counter force which brings into your system, into your ecosystem, individual ecosystem, healthy way of dealing with unhealthy situations, humans, experiences. And in this almost natural reaction to negative situations, it is always a good idea to find a sense of gratitude for the experience itself, for the human, for the toxic human in your life, because it pushed you forward towards becoming a better version of yourself. It's important. The fifth step is very important because this is when the achievement of a better self is attained. Thank you for being here today. I'm looking forward to talking to you very soon again. Love and peace to you all.